Connor and I, Connor from the Hunter Valley, Mark Davidson, we're going to have a look at the Bordeaux, the classic Bordeaux grapes, Merlot and Cabernet. We have respect for what they do with grapes in Bordeaux. They're pretty good.
I do like a lunch and claret every now and then.
The claret.
Cabernet, noble variety for Bordeaux, left bank varietal. It's the structure, it's the tannin, it's the power, it's the fruit weight, it's late ripening, dark fruits. We try and make a bright, fresh style. It carries its berries and its cassis and all those lovely chocolatey tannins with it.
But you know, in 2019, when we first looked at these wines after ferment, they were pretty big, weren't they?
They were big, they were tough, they were tannic. It took a bit of time in oak and a bit of time in tank to mellow them down and smooth out that tannin and make them drinkable. They were pretty hard things to look at, fresh from ferment, fresh off skins. Because
Cabernet's a small grape anyway, and you go into a year like 19 where the berries were just tiny, right? So you got lots of concentration of skin to pulp, and this is what we were dealing with, right?
Yeah, lots of colour, lots of flavour, but you get lots of tannin and lots of astringency with that, and it's our job in the winery to balance it all out using whatever we can. And these did take some winemaking to get them to the state they are. And
we like a challenge anyway, but
we're pretty happy. And at the end of the day, I think it's my favourite reserve red we made last year.
There you go. Well, I think the Cabernets, and this is something for people, customers, the people who are drinking these wines, to remember. We're still working to create balance at the end of the day, and we're working to produce a wine that, even though it's Cabernet and it's more likely to have more tannin structure than other grape varieties, this is still very balanced, and it's a good drink. It's still a good drink.
It's gone are the days of making wines going, oh, you need to wait 20 years before you can drink this. We make wines that the day we send them out of the winery, they should be ready to drink.
Let's have a look at the Merlot as well. But look, we do, I agree, we've worked well with a difficult year, produced a good Cabernet. Merlot is something of a story, because I think around Australia, and I think generally speaking, Merlot can be very variable. I think if you, as a consumer of Merlot, you go out there, and I think some of the commercial options make it a difficult choice for a lot of people.
It can be big and blousy, or it can be thin and weedy, and it's really hard to get the viticulture right, to be able to get the fruit, to be able to hit that balance and precision and have nice, rich fruit with savoury tannins and balance and length on the palate without having clawing, clinging fruit or tannin, or just a lack of all of it.
Well, when you've got so many sort of alternative versions of Merlot, that's why it struggles, I think, commercially. What we are very proud of the fruit that we're producing out of Orange, is that each of the varieties in the reserve range display proper varietal character. Yeah. And they're not some sort of version of a red wine. They're a varietal character in their own right. This is very different to the Cabernet.
Definitely, it's softer, it's more supple, it's silky, and flows across the palate.
That's what we want.
Without those sharp edges, it doesn't have the tannin, the grip, and the race of Cabernet, but it's got the lusciousness and the weight of fruit, and more of that darker fruit spectrum than the Cabernet. And
well, it's got more sweet fruit on the nose, rather than that sort of herbaceous thing that comes with Cabernet. So it's really a great looking wine. It's certainly not lacking in density. It's got weight, and the oak that we use judiciously, it really looks nicely built into the wine.
Large format, 500 litre barrels are the only ones that went into this. It's not about the oak adding flavour, it's about adding structure and supporting the fruit we get from the vineyards, and propping them up and making them stand as tall and as bright and as tasty as they can. And
this is one serious Merlot.
Yeah, pretty much.
I reckon. We're done well. Well done, Connor. 19 Merlot.